Okay, in this particular video, we're going to be going over finding the area of composite figures so we can make some corrections on our assignment. So number one, we're going to first identify the shape so we can split this figure into the familiar shapes. So the first shape that I see happens to be a rectangle. Okay, and the rectangle that I pull out of the picture has a height of 4 and a length of 16. So to find the area of a rectangle is length times width. So I'm going to do 4 times 16. That happens to be 64. Okay, and then the other piece of this figure that I see is 2 half circles. If you put each half together, it's going to end up making a full circle. And then the information it gives us is the diameter is 4. And then let's remember that our area formula uses radius times itself, so r times r. So 3.14 times, and this is a diameter, so we need to cut that in half. 3.14 times 2 times 2. And that is going to be 12.56. And then we need to find the total area of this figure, so I'm going to take 64 and 12.56 and add them together. So 76.56 would be your final answer. Okay, number 2, I'm going to go ahead and turn this one to the side so we can see the shapes. So number 2, let's go ahead and pull apart the shapes that you see on the inside. So I see a rectangle if I put a line down the middle and split the trapezoid into a rectangle and a triangle. So as I pull out the rectangle, I notice that the length is 6, the height is 3, length times width, 3 times 6, and that happens to be 18. Okay, I also see a half circle. With the diameter of 3, so area is equal to 3.14 times, and then don't forget the formula uses radius and not diameter, so I need to take half of 3, which is 1.5, and plug it into my formula. That number happens to be 7.065. I'm going to round that to 7.1. Okay, and then also take note that the picture only has a half circle, not a full circle. So I need to take this particular area and cut that in half because, again, the half circle was only given. So 3.5 is my area for the half circle or the semicircle. Okay, and then the last picture that I see or last figure that I see or shape is the triangle. Okay, and then the information about the triangle has a height of 3. And then if the full base is 10 and it cuts off right here at 6, the leftover piece is 4. So 3 and 4. And then the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So 3 times 4 divided by 2, which is 12, divided by 2, which is 6. Okay, and then to find your total area, you're going to take 18 plus 3.5 plus 6. Okay, and then your total area is 27.5 when I add each piece together. So 18 plus 3.5 plus 6. Okay, now let's take a look at number 3. The shapes that I see in number 3 happen to be a square. So let's take care of the square first. In order to find the area of a square, you're going to do length times width again, which in this case is 10 times 10. So the area of the square is 100. Again, I just found the area of the square. And then the other shapes that I see is this half and this half is going to make a full circle with a diameter of 10. Okay, this half and this half is going to make a second full circle with a diameter of 10. Now let's remember that my Area formula again uses radius. The picture gave me the diameter as a piece of information, but I can cut that by half. So 3.14 times 5 times 5 is 78.5, and there were two circles. So this was the area for one. Let's put another 78.5 on there, so I have two accounted for. And then my total area is going to be adding 100 plus 78.5 plus 78.5. So 78.5 plus 78.5 plus 100. Your total area is 257 when you add them all together. Okay, now let's take a look at number 4, and let's see the shapes that we see in number 4. So I see a rectangle. So I see 10 and 24, and I know that the area is length times width. So 10 times 24, area equals 240. And then the other shape that I see is a half circle with this piece missing. Okay, so I know that the total is 24, and I know 5 and 5. So I need to do 24 minus 10 to figure out the missing piece, and that happens to be 14. So the circle I know has a diameter of 14, and then I'm also going to remember that my formula uses radius. So 3.14 times 7, because that's half of 14. Okay, and I'm not finished yet because this picture only used half of that circle, not the whole thing. So I need to divide my area by 2. So the area that I'm going to use, y'all can see that, is 76.93. So then to find the total, I need to add the area of the rectangle, area of the half circle together. And the total area is 316.93. So again, I hope this video has helped. And anytime that you see a composite, an irregular figure, a composite figure or a shape that has a bunch of familiar or similar shapes on the inside, you can always split them up into shapes that you recognize. Find the area of the smaller shapes and then add them all together to find the total. Best of luck to you, and hopefully you guys make your corrections.